This girl stands at the edge of a tall building. She apologizes to her father, saying she can't endure it anymore, and then falls like a bird without wings. Later, the news reveals that she was a victim of severe school bullying. Unable to take it any longer, she ended her own life. The bullies put a leash around her neck and forced her to walk like a dog. They even made her eat burnt cigarettes, smeared lipstick all over her body, and sometimes recorded everything they did. Her father, Mr. Lee, turned out to be one of the country's most influential men and the chairman of a powerful corporation. He appeared before the media and publicly forgave the students who bullied his daughter, leaving everyone stunned. People believed he was devastated but had somehow chosen not to punish the offenders. His statement sparked massive outrage. People questioned his decision and even doubted whether he was a real father. Across social media, criticism poured in, with some claiming he couldn't possibly be her biological father if he could forgive the bullies so easily. In reality, Mr. Lee was completely shattered after losing his only daughter. He had no intention of sending the bullies to juvenile detention. The truth was, if they were locked away there, he would never get the revenge he wanted. He could never truly forgive them, and showing mercy would only mean they would eventually walk free after serving a light sentence. He regretted never teaching his daughter to be less kind and more honest about her suffering. She became a target after protecting another girl from bullies, and now he blamed himself for not teaching her to put herself first. Just then, his assistant brought the child Mr. Lee had mentioned earlier. He asked the girl if she was completely certain about her decision. The girl was Karma, who had now become his stepdaughter. She thanked him for giving her a place to live. Mr. Lee told Karma to get ready for school, leaving the assistant completely shocked. He protested, saying someone like Karma should never be sent to school. While Karma was excited about the idea, the assistant strongly disagreed. Ignoring his concerns, the chairman ordered him to make all the necessary arrangements. Mr. Lee told Karma to prepare for school and suggested she try making some friends. Karma bluntly replied that he should stop beating around the bush because he actually meant playthings, not friends, catching Mr. Lee off guard. The next day, in late May of the following year, at the main school, a girl forced another student to drink expired milk. She grabbed a pair of scissors, cut the girl's hair, threw it into the milk, and demanded that she drink it. The milk even contained dead flies, making it completely disgusting. Even so, the bullies threatened to cut off more of her hair if she refused. Everyone watched in shock, but not a single person stepped in. The girl leading the bullying was the same one responsible for Mr. Lee's daughter's death, yet she had escaped punishment. Her name was Sun, the main perpetrator. Although she had been charged with aggravated assault, she avoided punishment because of the commotion surrounding the case. The class president, who had been sitting quietly at the front, finally lost patience and stood up in anger to stop them. But just then, the classroom door opened, and everyone immediately calmed down as the teacher entered. The bullies warned the victim that if she told the teacher anything, they would spread her photos everywhere and continue tormenting her. The teacher introduced Karma to the class, explaining that she had transferred from a neighboring country. Karma calmly introduced herself to everyone. At the same time, the chairman's assistants once again urged Mr. Lee to reconsider sending Karma to school. They suggested returning her to juvenile detention because of how dangerous her past was. They warned that if she caused trouble, no one would be able to stop her, and since she was his stepdaughter, Mr. Lee would also face serious consequences. Mr. Lee answered that he hadn't adopted a daughter. He had bought a hunting dog. That single sentence silenced the assistant. The truth was that Karma had been discovered alone near a river in 2018 at the age of 13. Investigations revealed that biological experiments conducted by the neighboring country had damaged her frontal lobe. Expert evaluations diagnosed her as a psychopath, with special notes stating that she was incapable of feeling pain or shame. Authorities also found bloodstains on her clothes connected to 13 different murder cases. She was later sent to a juvenile detention and rehabilitation center, but her violent nature never changed. She brutally beat almost every child and juvenile offender there. Because of her superhuman physical abilities, she was eventually transferred to a juvenile protection review board. Now, she was out on probation only because Mr. Lee had personally requested it through the Ministry of Justice. Meanwhile, back at school, Sun looked at Karma and smiled, believing she had finally found an entertaining new toy. At the exact same moment, Karma was thinking the very same thing. During lunch break, everyone gathers around Karma. Even boys from other schools come just to see her because she's beautiful and from a neighboring country. They bombard her with questions about where she's from and what she's like. Karma responds with perfect manners, politely introducing herself again and again, telling everyone her name and where she came from. Meanwhile, the girl who had been getting bullied notices all the attention Karma is receiving. She watches everyone laughing around her and can't help feeling jealous that Karma became so popular on her very first day. Just then, Sun walks over with her two friends. The girl sitting beside Karma immediately becomes frightened. Sun introduces herself and invites Karma to become close friends and join her group. The girl next to Karma is stunned, realizing Sun is already trying to target the new transfer student. Karma instantly recognizes Sung because before transferring, Mr. Lee and his assistant had already briefed her that Sung would be her very first target. Karma had simply commented that Sung looked incredibly nasty. They explained that Sung was one of the students who constantly bullied Mr. Lee's daughter. According to his daughter's diary, Sung often kicked her around the apartment complex. One important detail stood out: Sung was the one who came up with the dog leash bullying. Although her level of abuse was considered the lowest among the perpetrators, she willingly took part in everything. She was now attending a high school in the same city. They had also predicted that, judging by her personality, Sung would most likely approach Karma first after her transfer. Karma told them not to worry if Sung came to her. She would simply cover herself with bruises and cuts. But Mr. Lee told her that the most important thing was that if Sung approached her, she had to accept and become her friend. Back in the present, Karma agrees to be Sung's friend, leaving Sung pleasantly surprised that she accepted the invitation to join their group. Sung immediately hugs her. A moment later, Sun looks at the girl sitting beside Karma and orders her to introduce herself to Olivia. Olivia freezes in fear. Sun then suggests that, since they're seatmates, they should get closer by playing a little game. She tells her two friends to pull a plastic bag over Olivia's head. They obey without hesitation, and Olivia immediately struggles to breathe while Sung enjoys every second of it. When Karma asks why they're doing this, Sun casually explains that Olivia stupidly bumped into her desk and made her phone fall. With the plastic bag still covering Olivia's face, they force her to walk around the classroom with her eyes closed, saying that if she bumps into a desk, they'll reward her with expired milk to cheer her up. Olivia has no choice but to obey. As she carefully walks through the classroom, Sun suddenly shoves her forward, causing her to accidentally hit a desk. Without hesitation, Sung kicks her hard in the back, sending her crashing onto another desk. She kicks her again and orders her to crawl. Olivia breaks down in tears while the rest of the class, including the class president, can only watch from a distance. The class president is furious at Sung's behavior, but before anyone can react, Sung asks Karma to join in. She even suggests that during lunch they should cover Olivia with a bag and throw her into the boys' bathroom. That suggestion finally pushes the class president to stand up and stop them. But before anyone else can move, Karma stops Sung herself, shocking even the class president. Meanwhile, Olivia continues crying helplessly inside the plastic bag. Karma calmly tells Sung that she shouldn't do this and apologizes to Olivia instead. Sung is left speechless for a brief moment, but her surprise quickly turns into anger. She shoves Olivia aside and all three girls surround Karma. Sung warns Karma that she should have realized by now that she's the queen of this school. She tells her to either fit in or get lost unless she's ready to fight. Karma calmly replies that if Sung continues acting like this, she'll simply call the teacher. Sung and her friends burst into laughter, saying they couldn't care less about what the teacher might do. Without warning, Sung drives a kick straight into Karma's stomach. At that moment, Karma remembers the promise she made to Mr. Lee, that no matter what happened, she must never throw the first punch. It was all part of their plan. They wanted Karma to become the innocent victim at school so they could slowly carry out their revenge. She had to endure Sung's violence and wait for at least 1 full week. Karma silently wonders if she'll really be able to keep holding herself back. Mr. Lee had told her that as long as she took the first hit, she could do whatever she wanted afterward. And now, after receiving that very first blow, the violence truly begins right in front of everyone's eyes. The teachers enter the classroom and tell all the girls to step outside because gym class is about to begin and everyone needs to change into their sports uniforms. At that moment, Karma remembers one final instruction from Mr. Lee. No matter what happened, she had to endure the bullying for at least 1 full week or he would never forgive her. Taking the abuse wasn't difficult because she couldn't feel pain, but Sung's behavior still irritated her. Before leaving, Sung smirks and tells Karma that their little circus will continue during the next break. Later, Sung heads to the back of the school to smoke with her friends. They laugh together while sitting on top of Olivia, forcing her to eat burning cigarette butts from the ground without letting her touch the floor. Sung orders Olivia to finish eating them before the break ends or she'll make her eat every single one. Her friends only laugh harder as Olivia suffers. Suddenly, they hear someone's footsteps approaching and immediately panic. But once the person comes into view, Sung relaxes after realizing it's only the class president and not a teacher. The class president tells them to stop what they're doing. Seeing her arrive, Olivia briefly hopes someone has finally come to save her, but she quickly crushes that hope, believing the class president could become another victim herself. Instead, the class president casually takes a cigarette from Sung and starts smoking it. Olivia is left stunned. Then the class president removes her glasses, revealing her true nature. She tells the girls it's already been a year since they drove a student to her death. The class president's real name is Moon. She's 16 years old and predator number B. She was also charged with aggravated assault in Mr. Lee's daughter's case. Olivia is horrified, unable to understand why the class president is standing together with Sung's group. Moon tells Sung and her friends that rumors about them bullying Olivia have started spreading to other classes. When they ask who's spreading those rumors, Moon suddenly loses her temper and warns that she'll cut out their tongues if they speak again because she only follows orders. The girls instantly fall silent. Trying to ease the tension, Sung tells Moon to calm down. Moon coldly reminds them that they're in high school now and that she's planning to go to college. She refuses to be a brainless idiot like them and orders them not to drag her into their stupidity. Sung secretly can't stand Moon. She constantly lectures them, barely acknowledges their existence, and acts like she's above everyone just because they've entered high school. In Sung's eyes, all three of them are treated like complete idiots. Ever since middle school, Moon pretended to be the perfect class leader while staying in the background, making Sung and the others handle all the dirty work and become the obvious villains. But whenever nobody else was around, Moon was even crueler than Sung herself. That's exactly why Sung finds her even more disgusting than herself and genuinely hates her. Suddenly, Moon asks Sung why she's staring at her like that. Sung immediately apologizes, quickly looks away, and insists she wasn't staring at all. Moon tells them to do whatever they want before walking away. Even after she leaves, Sung remains irritated because of her. Moon then walks over to Olivia and says it must have been incredibly difficult for her to endure everything. But instead of helping, she quietly threatens Olivia. If she tells anyone about her, she'll make her life a living hell and might even kill her. Then Moon steps directly onto Olivia's hand. Olivia immediately screams in pain, crying and begging Moon to lift her foot. She swears she'll never cause any trouble and promises she won't report Moon to the school committee. Moon finally removes her foot, causing both Olivia and Sung to lose their balance and fall to the ground. Annoyed by the situation, Sung kicks Olivia right in the face. Watching Sung behave like that only makes Moon laugh, irritating Sung even more. Moon tells them to stop fooling around and get back to class. After putting her glasses back on, she returns to gym class. As soon as Moon walks away, Sung secretly shows her the middle finger, but Moon suddenly stops walking. Sung freezes in fear. Without even turning around, Moon tells Sung to beat up the new transfer student Karma because her overconfident attitude annoys her. Meanwhile, during gym class, Karma tells the teacher she doesn't have gym clothes, so she'll play soccer wearing her school uniform instead. The teacher agrees. The other girls quietly admire Karma without realizing that Sung is sitting behind them, listening to every word. After hearing them praise Karma, Sung decides she's grown tired of Olivia and starts thinking about turning Karma into her next dog instead. At the same time, Karma kicks the soccer ball with unbelievable force, leaving everyone speechless, the goalkeeper, President Moon, and every girl watching. Then she fires another kick just as powerful, shocking everyone all over again. On her third attempt, she deliberately aims for the goalpost. The ball ricochets straight towards Sung and one of her friends. Her friend immediately gets annoyed and yells at Karma, but the moment she sees Karma's expression, she becomes frightened and tries convincing Sung not to mess with her. That only makes Sung even angrier. She becomes convinced that Karma is openly challenging her. The moment gym class ends, Sung storms into the classroom and starts provoking Karma. She angrily accuses her of deliberately aiming the ball at them. Karma calmly admits it, saying she imagined the ball was Sung's head. Sung immediately tells her to kick it again. Karma casually replies that she can't because Sung's head isn't lying on the ground. That answer infuriates Sung even more. Karma then asks if Sung is actually scared, which is why she always brings her friends along. Completely enraged, Sung charges forward and swings her hand, trying to slap Karma. But before the slap can land, Karma's fist crashes straight into Sung's face. For the very first time in her life, Sung gets punched directly in the face and drops to the floor instantly. Her two friends are left speechless. Even President Moon is shocked. Looking down at her, Karma calmly says that Sung herself had just given her a perfectly good reason to hit her. Sung struggles to stand, but the punch is so powerful that she collapses back onto the floor. Panicking, she desperately asks Karma for a timeout. Karma simply looks at her and says, "Your face looks just like a ball to me." Karma steps on Sung's face and coldly tells her that she won't hesitate anymore. Now, she's finally going to kick her head exactly the way she wanted to. Meanwhile, one of Sung's friends grabs a chair and charges at Karma, trying to attack her. Karma effortlessly dodges the swing, causing the girl to trip over her own feet and crash onto the floor. Karma laughs at her, mocking how pathetic she looks. Then she grabs the girl by her hair, pulls her up, and asks if she'd like her wish to die granted first. Everyone watching is left completely stunned by Karma's actions. Without wasting another second, Karma twists the girl's own hair around her wrists, tying her hands behind her back. Then she drags her all the way to the front desk and smashes her face into it. Once, then again. The entire classroom falls silent in shock while the third girl is completely terrified by what she's witnessing. Even the class president watches everything unfold. Instead of stepping in, she quietly calms herself and leaves to call a teacher. Meanwhile, the girl desperately screams for someone to save her, but not a single classmate moves. Now Karma turns her attention to the princess. The girl immediately panics, insisting she had nothing to do with any of this. She tries to run away but trips over a desk. As she falls, she notices a box cutter lying beside a pencil case. She instantly grabs it and warns Karma that she'll cut her if she comes any closer. Karma simply tells her to do whatever she wants. The moment Karma takes a single step forward, the terrified girl completely loses control and lunges at her with the cutter. Karma calmly dodges every single attack before slamming her straight onto the floor. The cutter slips from the girl's hand, and she's so stunned that she doesn't even understand what just happened. Karma grabs her by the hair and lifts her up. The girl starts screaming that she's going to die. Karma calmly replies that people don't die that easily and tells her to stop crying. Then she drives the girl's face straight into a locker with a kick. The second kick forces her face even deeper into the locker. At that moment, Karma silences the entire classroom. She tells everyone that she doesn't need anyone's sympathy. She's the real victim because they bullied her first. In fact, everyone there should be thanking her because they were all too weak to stand up against them. Just then, Karma notices Sung trying to escape. She immediately rushes toward the back door, only to realize it's already closed. Karma sprints after her and lands a powerful kick to Sung's back, sending both of them crashing into the hallway floor. Without giving her a chance to recover, Karma grabs Sun by the face and rains down punch after punch. Everyone is horrified by what they're seeing. Then Karma suddenly realizes Sung has already lost consciousness. Instead of stopping, she actually starts enjoying it. At that exact moment, the teacher and the class president rush in and finally stop her. Later, Mr. Lee's assistant bursts into his office and urgently reports that Karma failed to follow the plan of acting like a victim for an entire week. Mr. Lee stays silent for a moment, then he calmly says they can no longer afford to wait. What's already happened can't be changed. Now they need to focus on the present. He then asks for an update on the situation. Meanwhile, back at school, Karma slowly looks toward the class president and gives her a silent look that says only one thing: you're next. Later, inside the teacher's office, Sung's mother arrives at the school. Furious, she starts yelling at the teachers and everyone present over what Karma did to her daughter. She proudly announces that her husband is the president of a major corporation and is practically like a brother to the school principal. Then she orders the vice principal to immediately call Karma's parents. At that moment, Karma suddenly begins crying in front of Sung's mother. Everyone is confused and asks why she's crying. Karma quietly reveals the bruises covering her body and says that Sung was the one who did this to her. The teachers and staff are instantly shocked. Since they already know Sung has a long history of bullying students, they immediately believe Karma. But in reality, everything was part of Karma's plan. She had deliberately created those bruises on her own body beforehand so she could use them when the time came. For a brief moment, both Sung and her mother are left speechless. Even Sung's mother starts doubting her daughter, but she quickly regains herself and accuses Karma of lying. She points at the injured faces of the girls and argues that it's obvious Karma brutally assaulted all of them. Then she once again orders the vice principal to contact Karma's parents. The vice principal hands over the phone and Sung's mother personally speaks with Mr. Lee. She arrogantly demands that he come to the school immediately, kneel before her, and apologize. Mr. Lee refuses without the slightest hesitation. He calmly explains that he's an extremely busy man and won't be able to visit the school today regarding any compensation. Instead, he tells her he'll personally inform them of the date, time, and place. Then he hangs up. Everyone in the office is stunned. Sung's mother completely loses her temper. She glares at Karma and says her father is just as shameless as she is. Before leaving with her daughter, she warns Karma that they'll make her life miserable. As they walk away, Karma quietly smiles. She realizes she has nothing to worry about because her stepfather will handle everything himself. His original plan had simply been far too roundabout, which was exactly why she couldn't keep holding herself back. A little later, Sung storms into the classroom and immediately confronts Moon. She angrily demands to know why Moon took so long to call the teacher. Moon calmly replies that she's not some supercar. Sung immediately suspects that Moon intentionally delayed because she was afraid. She believes Moon didn't want Karma to discover that she was the one who brought the teachers, fearing she'd become Karma's next target. That accusation instantly irritates Moon. Without another word, she throws a book straight into Sung's face before driving a kick into her stomach, sending Sung flying into the corner of the classroom. Moon coldly warns her not to say another word unless she's prepared to face the consequences. Sung fires back, saying Moon must be just as insane as her own mother, who had only just left the school office. Moon simply replies that even better. She tells Sung to bring her mother over too, because she'll deal with her as well. Sung is completely stunned into silence. Moon then reminds her that she's been acting like some big boss lately because she's forgotten one simple fact. Without her family's influence, she's nothing more than a stray puppy that survives only because they're allowing it. She tells Sung to stop pretending she's in charge. Sung angrily shouts a few more words before leaving the classroom, unwilling to risk getting kicked again. Even after Sung leaves, Moon can't stop thinking about karma. In the end, she decides the smartest choice is to simply observe her for now before making her next move. Meanwhile, later that day at home, Sung's older brother laughs the moment he sees the condition of her face. Embarrassed, Sung tells him to stop making fun of her. When he asks who did this, she shows him a picture of karma. Instead of getting angry, he smiles. His name is Jinwoo. He's predator number C and was also involved in the school bullying case that led to Mr. Lee's daughter's death. The main charges against him were illegal filming and participating in group assaults. Sung becomes excited because she knows her brother is finally going to get revenge on her behalf. The very next day, while Karma is walking home from school, Jinwoo blocks her path. Sung and one of her friends are standing nearby, ready to record everything that happens.